Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ring Diaries, where we talk about anything and everything to do with marriage. If you have any issue you want to talk about, please reach out to us and let's discuss that. And if you have any particular person you want to hear their story, please also reach out to us. I'm Fiona Mbowa here at Church of Uganda Family TV, and this is Ring Diaries. And I keep telling us there's no expert in marriage. I just bring us real people to share their experiences to make our marriages better. With me this evening are two amazing people. Next to me is Ernest Katwesigye, who's been married for 15 years this year. You're welcome, Ernest.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. And next to Ernest is Grace Zaake. Wasswa. Do you take on Wasswa?
Yes, I do.
Hey. Okay, Grace Zaake Wasswa, who's been married for 17 years. So I have some experience. Even when I gave the disclaimer that we don't take experience, at least now we have 32 years of marriage sitting here. And they're going to tell us about supporting your spouse's vision. You're very welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Thank,
you.
thank you for giving us your time. How
Thank you,
is
Mrs.
17 years,
Zimbawa.
Grace? How
Um,
have the 17 years been?
Growing every day, learning every day, and we continue to enjoy life together.
Even at 17 years, you're still enjoying.
Actually, I feel like we've just started.
Ah,
Yes, because now I miss, even when my husband is just away for a day, I miss him much more than I used to. So I think
what's
I'm starting life
that's
again.
interesting. Mama Ernest, do you also miss the beer?
Definitely, if when you're supposed to be together, when you're not together, you miss the other person.
So 15 years have also been fun and exciting.
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey.
Wow, interesting. For viewers, please get married. You see, people are just enjoying marriage. So, what does it mean to have a vision? Before we get to supporting, I don't know, Ernest, given that you're the man here, what does it mean to have a vision, and who should have a vision in a home?
Thank you, Fiona. What is a vision? A vision comes from seeing. So a vision is what you see. What you see is what you get. Of course, vision, as is usually has the long-term perspective. So a vision is seeing where you're going, seeing the
Okay.
picture of what you want. In
Okay.
a home, who should have a vision? I believe the couple should have a vision, not the man, not the woman. The
Okay,
couple should have a
Ernest, you're
vision.
being political.
No,
I feel like you're being political. So the couple should have a vision.
yes.
Okay. Grace, what is your take? What is a vision?
Yeah, vision is the bigger picture.
Hmm.
The bigger picture about the future, about your goals, what you want to do. The bigger picture, basically.
Hmm.
That's a vision.
And who should have a vision? As a couple.
As a couple, for me, I think as a couple, you need to have a vision as a couple.
Hmm.
But at the same time, you find that at some point, the husband may have a different vision from your vision as a wife. So
Hmm.
that's when dialogue comes in, talking, this conversation, the candid conversation.
Hmm.
That's when it comes in. But otherwise, as a couple, you need to have a vision as a couple. Then you have a vision like for the family, for your children.
Hmm.
Then eventually you might have different callings,
Hmm.
and then you'll find that yeah, you get different visions at some point.
At some point.
Yes.
But honest, you still believe the couple should have. So okay, I know we should have a vision as a couple, but
Mm.
who starts? Because at some point we need to start somewhere.
Mhm.
Whoever starts eventually, I believe you need to get to that point when you agree that this is our vision as a couple. As a man, as a wife, I believe you might have sub legs to the vision,
Okay.
but I believe those sub legs should fit into the couple vision. My my belief is that if it's totally off the couple vision, then you're going to have challenges.
Okay. So, our topic today is supporting your spouse's vision, and maybe a little into I don't know, when we were married, okay, when we are getting married, of course, the men sell us a particular vision. Now, that is maybe for grace. There's a vision the person tells you that, I'm going to do this, like they show you that picture. I don't know if it happened for you, it was just me who was.
For me now, I'll use a brief personal story.
Hmm.
My husband and I went to the same school.
Okay.
By the time I was joining senior one, he was already in HSC,
Okay.
but we didn't know each other.
Hmm.
So eventually, we got to know each other. That's I think when he was at the university, I think
Hmm.
around second year.
Okay.
So we were friends before we got married, but along the way, when we used to chat, to talk and all that, he used to share with me that yes, he really wanted to influence, lives of
Hmm.
people, and he was a minister in
Okay.
church. He used to minister quite a lot, but I didn't know that he would be perhaps a senior pastor at some point.
Hmm.
Yes,
So getting into marriage, he was not a pastor.
he was not a pastor.
Hmm.
He became a senior pastor like when we had been married for more than 11 years. Yes.
Okay.
We've been married for 17 years, but by the time he became a senior pastor, we had been married for 11, 12 years. So
12
somehow
years.
that's why I say that you can have a vision as a couple, but at some point, some things might change. Yeah.
Okay. So when this vision changes,
Mm.
and now I want now to Ernest, when this vision changes, what happens there? Or even how does the change? Okay, how is the change sold to your spouse?
If there's a vision change,
The vision
uh,
has changed.
okay, this is what I believe, that vision is God given,
Mm,
purpose is God given, it is prayer ordained, and
mm,
our role, my role as a man, our role as a couple, is to discover that purpose and that vision. So, does the purpose change? Does the vision change? Maybe my understanding of it is what might change.
okay.
Maybe my further discovery of it is what might change, but I don't think it itself changes. So,
Mm,
where I feel maybe I am getting it better and the way I'm understanding it is a little different from earlier, then we need to get back to that point of prayer, because I believe vision is birthed in the place
okay.
prayer.
Mm,
Yes, until we are on the same page.
okay. So now you have understood your vision, Ernest. How do you sell it to the other person? I think let's use Grace's story so that we give it some bit of context. I've gotten married to you, you're not a pastor. 11 years in, 11, like a decade and 1 year. You're coming to me and now you have to become a pastor. How do you sell that?
Like Grace said, if I understood her, from the time when they were getting married, he wanted to influence lives.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, he wanted to serve God.
Mm,
Okay, so you can see that the vision was actually there, not yet fully clear, but it
mm,
was there that I'm going to serve God. Now the how is what probably changes
mm.
along the way.
Right.
So yeah, so I think the vision did change, and I think I she knew what she was getting in. Maybe not the full details, and thank God that He never shows us the full details, because
Yeah.
I guess if God showed us the full details, we would scatter.
Eh. So she knew what she was going into.
Yes, but not the details.
Yeah.
But okay. And you see the funny thing about God, when you say God doesn't show us the details, when He calls you, somehow you also the call is on you by the way. But now you need, because we are now the two have become one.
Mm,
We need to actually make it work together.
yes,
How do we do that?
I think at that point we need to be vulnerable. We need to be open to what God is going to do in us, with us, and through us. But the moment we are rigid, then we will find challenges. Yes.
So, Grace, for you, how did you buy into this vision? Did you buy into the vision for starters? Because I've seen people who say, God called you alone.
Yeah.
Actually, do not involve me in your church things because that is your call. It is not mine. So for you, were you able to buy into the call, or you're one of those who I'm not involved?
No, at first it wasn't easy
Hmm.
because like I've had friends, let me say pastors' wives, and like the stories they keep sharing are
Eh,
quite. Sometimes they are really, really
tough.
these serious stories. So all along I was like, okay, we will be serving. I'm okay. Our children will serve the Lord. I wanted my house to serve the Lord, but I'd never imagined myself being a pastor's wife, more so a senior pastor.
Church mother.
Because that comes
Church
with the Lord.
mama.
It is not about being even a church mama, it's more than that.
Eh.
So basically, anyway, when he really he took time. I remember one time he even had to take me for a date, in a
That is the
cozy.
preparing and saying,
Yes,
Ernest.
the
You have to prepare.
preparation.
Yeah.
More like marinating, that's what they call it in
Uh-huh.
courts. Yes,
Yes.
a cozy place. I was like, this surprise. I was excited. Hi! I was very excited. Then eventually I was like, now I'm going to share my heart with her. I was like, now what is this?
Uh-huh.
Is he proposing again? So all those
Is he
imaginations.
proposing
Is he
again?
going to propose again? What is it?
Mm.
Are we going to relocate?
Mm.
So many questions.
Mm.
Eventually I was like, now this is to do with the calling on my life. And I was like, okay. And eventually he told me,
Mm.
but definitely it wasn't easy. So he talked to me like it took like 2 years taking me through. He didn't rush me,
Mm.
took me through. Then I started asking questions. Now, okay, if now you're the senior pastor, what do you want me to do? What, how
How
should
do
I
I
do ABC?
behave?
How do I
How
behave?
do I
What,
dress
even
up?
where do I sit? Those
Mm.
they are like you might think that they are just small questions, but they are serious. They were serious questions, and he was very patient with me. He kept telling me what he really wanted, and for me, submission is doing what my husband wants, as long as it's in line with the word of God. So when he kept telling me what he wanted me to do in regards to the vision he had, it was clear. It wasn't. So I started following because he kept teaching me about following and also following hard. I kept following, then I prayed definitely. I prayed, then I started also befriending some people that were already
In the
there.
same
Yes,
space.
in the same space, definitely. Then, I got wise counsel, the encouragement, and all that. So you give it time basically. You don't just share your vision and don't you think the other person will just take it. No.
So it is important to actually sell your vision to
So
your
yeah, and you
spouse.
give it time.
So
You
it's not
give it
just that
time.
I have the vision, follow
For me,
it.
no, 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 no. Yes. So
And
I started taking it gracefully, then also praying. Then now I'm really, really supporting him. And whatever I do, for me in church, you will not see me like preaching all the time. No, because that's not what he wants me to do right now. Perhaps later, that's what I said, that some things change. But he's right. He said yes. It's like the vision will be there, but basically
a
some
few
things keep
things.
unfolding along the way. Yeah. So whatever I'm doing now in church is what he wants me to do, and I'm very okay.
Wow.
Mm.
So honest, I'll ask the same question. How do we prepare, especially for men? Because it's a big deal. Personally,
Mm.
as he said, growing up in chapel, I had the stories of pastors' wives, and I told myself I would never get married to a pastor, and I have successfully not gotten married to a pastor.
That's
Don't
So
what
be
you
if
sure
think.
no, no,
yet.
that's what
That's
I'm
what you
saying.
think.
So if you're telling me
That's
that
what you think.
if 15 years later, and the person says now,
Mm.
I am going to be a pastor. I said I'm not marrying a pastor. Now you're changing. How do you prepare this person for what is yet to come?
Well, how do you prepare? I think partly because of my background, I tend to be direct. I I I
You're
don't.
one of those people who say, "That's my call, follow me."
And I'll not say that's my call. Follow me, but as well, I don't see myself, for example, taking her out to coffee and
Hey.
Why
evening and
not?
say, "This is what has happened," and yeah, this is what has happened.
So
This is
what if she's not on board?
then we discuss what does this mean, which is okay,
Yeah.
because I mean I don't expect her to be a robot. She's not a robot. She's a human being. But I'll probably give it direct as is. Then we
We have
discuss
suffered.
we discuss the implications,
Yeah.
and I'll appreciate I'd appreciate if she came along slowly, but probably it would be wrong to say no, me, I'm not going there, you go. Now definitely that would be wrong. That would be unbiblical, and it would just tear your marriage apart.
Okay. Okay. Okay, we've been discussing the part of if it is the man with a vision, for Grace's part, and Ernest, if it is you with a vision. What happens if the tables are turned and the call has come to Zebia?
uh, Again, I'll say that the Bible gives clear guidance. I don't think that the wife can rightly have a vision that is apart from her man. Now, that does not mean that, for example, in a church setting, she can't be the one called to be
Aline.
a leader. Each can happen, but again, that has to fit within the couple, the couple's vision. And once you agree on how that fits in, then it is my responsibility to support her. Because, like I mentioned earlier, yes, there's the bigger couple vision, then each of you has a leg to that vision, and each one has the responsibility to support the other in their leg of that vision.
Okay. So I think maybe I skipped a question I wanted to ask before. Is it just the men that should have the vision, or as a woman in the marriage, I can actually have a vision? For our viewers, this is not for me to.
Uh, in the marriage, the man should be the leader of the vision. That's how I would respond to it. You have a vision together. The man should be the leader of that vision. Now, that does not mean that the man should be the one out there, because leading does not necessarily mean you're the public person. You can even lead from the background.
Grace, do you think the man should be the one with the vision?
I don't know. I've seen some friends who got married, and the wife, for example, was already a pastor.
That one
And
knew what? No, that one like you knew what they were getting in.
but then the husband decided not to follow the vision of the wife. Yes, he decided not to.
Even when he married her, knowing she was the pastor.
She was already a pastor, but eventually, like 4 or 5 years down the road, the man opened his own church in a different district, actually. Yes,
And
a
they were
different
married.
name. Yes, and they are still married. But I don't know whether they are happy married, but they are still married. So for me, I think if the wife has a vision, yeah, the man has to, the, the husband has really to appreciate that first of all. But it takes a lot of humility, I think. I've not been there, but I think it takes a lot of humility. I think Mr. Ernest can tell us. But in most cases, some husbands really find it hard to follow the wife's vision. The husband, in most cases, can support the wife, for example, when it comes to the career and all that. But when it comes to this big thing, sometimes it's hard. So it's always good anyway for the man to lead, because as a wife I'm the neck and the man is the head. So it's easier for the man. For me, I just follow. Just follow.
So what happens in a case whereby the man has no vision?
uh If the man has no vision, then eventually that man will end up watching the woman on the television. The woman who has a vision. Yeah. You keep watching your lady on the television because she has a vision. And for you, you're seated, you're just relaxing there. But it's really, really prudent and it's biblical to be visionary. Because if you're not visionary as a man, then where are you leading us? Because you're the head of the
You're
family.
supposed to be the head.
Yeah, you're supposed to be the head. You're supposed to lead us. You're supposed to actually to paint that big
Picture.
picture, actually even bigger picture. So I'm just praying that husbands out there who are not visionary should at least pick something and write it down, then pursue that.
At least
Because
copy,
we
at
should
least
have,
copy
we
from
should
the
live a
neighbor.
purposeful life.
Maybe
Yes,
their vision is to sit around.
Yes, that could
around
be
and
a
support.
vision.
No, sit around and. But definitely, I'm reminded often about the story of Saul. The Bible was very clear that the priest was the one supposed to make the sacrifice. So Saul felt that Eli, the priest, had delayed, and he took it upon himself to make the sacrifice. And definitely, it was one of the reasons that God rejected him. I think it is. I think it is the same thing. If as a wife I feel my man has no vision, and I say, "Look, I'm going to run this home." It's a similar. It's turning the biblical order upside down, and I am yet to find a marriage where that order has been turned upside down and they are happily married with a happy family. Each time that happens, it leads to strife, it leads to conflict, it leads even often to infidelity. So I would encourage the wife, pray for your man, support your man to get to that place.
What am I supporting, Ernest? He has no vision. What do I support if the person clearly has no vision?
Then why did you get married to a person without a vision? It was your fault. You can't eat
What do
your
you
cake
mean
and
it
have
was your fault? Sometimes okay, I've seen couples where you seem like the person seems like they actually have one until you get married and there's
Oh.
nothing. So what do I support? Shouldn't I now take up as a woman and say, you know what? We can't let the family fail.
I think Chalamboa, then accountability comes in here. Because as a couple, if you're accountable to some people, or for example, if you have a spiritual father or a spiritual leader, or those elders that really you look up to, they can guide you in a way. Then you start encouraging your husband at least to look up to some of those people and also to encourage the other people to talk to your husband. Yeah, so that because I've seen some women who earn more than actually their husbands. When they earn, they get their 3M, they can put it on the table and then they're like, my husband, please, here is the money, plan for it. What do we do? Now just imagine if you do that and then the man has no vision now.
And he takes it
Becomes
and drinks it. And also that is one of the things we are struggling with in
Yes,
society.
yeah.
The women are struggling in the markets. She brings her money and the man takes it to drink.
So
So that's why I'm trying to understand what happens. I know that biblically the man should have the vision. But then society where we are now, we are having men who actually have no vision. So shouldn't there be some leeway, honest? Some small leeway for this woman to not let her family perish, but instead get up and actually do something.
Yeah, of course, the woman should not just sleep and say, "Oh, my husband is like that." No, but again, she has to do it very wisely,
Okay.
so as not to appear like she's just trapping the man. Because yes, there are men that have gone off, either that have no vision or that are drunkards. There's some areas I've gone to in this country, confirmation, and you see that it's the women taking the lead and the men are
Sitting at the trading center.
yes, but on on I've gone ahead to find out why that is the case, and I've actually found that each time that happens, there was a cause. Okay,
Okay.
so in that case, that cause needs to be dealt with so that we can get back to the proper order. Because each time there's the order is upset, you'll not be happy. That's why you'll find the man will be annoyed and just get the money and booze all of it. Then the woman fights back. Then they fight. Then police case.
So it would be important. Please emphasize to the men out there. They need to have the vision for us to follow.
That is, yeah, definitely the men out there. If you have no vision, you have no business getting married.
So, ah,
Okay, we are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to continue this conversation about how to support our spouses. And as you've heard the men out there, please get a vision. You are supposed to be the leader of the home, so we need to have something to follow as the ladies in the house. Don't go away. I'm Fiona Mboa here at Church of Uganda Family TV with Ring Diaries.